Reason why Nazi Germany built secret underground bases explained. In the dying years of World War II, when the Allies were closing in on Nazi Germany from every direction, Hitler and his engineers began digging. Deep beneath mountains, forests, and cities, an entire secret world was being carved out of stone and darkness. A network of tunnels, factories, and bunkers so vast and advanced, many of them are still being discovered today. Why did Nazi Germany go underground? Was it desperation, a vision for a final stand, or the groundwork for something far more sinister? By 1944, Germany's dream of a thousand-year Reich was collapsing. Allied bombers ruled the skies. German cities burned nightly. Factories, once symbols of Nazi industrial power, were now rubble. Hitler realized something chilling. If his weapons and technology couldn't survive above ground, they would have to survive below it. And so began one of the most secretive and ambitious projects in history, the construction of underground bases that could continue the war even as the Reich itself crumbled. They called it Riese, the giant. In the remote Owl Mountains of what is now Poland, Hitler ordered the SS and Organization Todt, his massive labor corps, to dig a fortress so vast it could house entire armies, weapons labs, and command centers. It was to be bomb-proof, self-sufficient, and hidden from Allied intelligence. Tens of thousands of prisoners from concentration camps were forced to work here, often with bare hands, primitive tools, and no food. Many died in the darkness, their bodies buried within the very tunnels they built. No one knows the full size of Riese, even today. Some tunnels are sealed, flooded, or lost to time. To this day, locals whisper that something else was being built down there, not just bunkers, but prototypes of weapons far beyond their time. The Nazis weren't just hiding. They were experimenting. As Allied bombers pounded the surface, the Nazi war machine moved its most advanced projects underground: the V-2 rockets, jet fighters, and experimental aircraft. In these hidden factories, scientists like Wernher von Braun tested technologies that would later change the world, even shaping the U.S. space program after the war. But deep within the Reich's secret archives were rumors of something else: designs for flying discs, anti-gravity research, and engines that seemed decades ahead of 1940s science. Most historians dismissed these as myths, wartime propaganda, or post-war conspiracy. Yet, what's undeniable is this: Nazi Germany was building weapons underground that no one had ever seen before. Hitler's obsession with underground construction went beyond survival. It was part of his fantasy of control. He imagined an underground empire that could endure the Allied onslaught, bases from which his scientists would build wonder weapons to turn the tide of war. In his mind, these bunkers weren't just shelters. They were cocoons for a rebirth. A fortress Germany that would rise again. He envisioned vast tunnels beneath Berlin, new government headquarters carved in stone, even secret escape routes. But as the Allies advanced, time ran out, and so did his resources. After the war, Allied investigators entered the tunnels, and what they found left more questions than answers. Blueprints for massive underground halls. Abandoned machinery. Unfinished rail lines leading nowhere. Many tunnels were destroyed or sealed by retreating Germans. Others were taken over by the Soviets and never seen again. To this day, no one knows exactly what was built, or what might still be hidden. Some historians believe the Nazis planned to move key leaders, scientists, and weapons underground for a final resistance, a last Reich that would continue after Berlin fell. It's said that even in 1945, as Hitler's empire collapsed, trains full of materials vanished into these mountains, and were never found again. Today, the ruins of Nazi underground bases are both a warning and a mystery. Places like Riese, Mittelwerk, and Dora Mittelbau stand as silent memorials to the madness of total war, where ambition, fear, and cruelty met deep beneath the earth. Thousands died to build them. They never saw daylight again. But their suffering built the foundations of technologies that shaped the post-war world, from ballistic missiles to space travel. In the end, the Nazis went underground not out of strength, but out of fear. They wanted to build a world that could not be bombed, invaded, or destroyed. But what they really built were tombs, monuments to obsession, secrecy, and the cost of blind ambition. Even today, beneath the forests and mountains of Europe, the echoes of that underground empire still whisper, a warning from the depths of history.